Alright, so gonna show how to do the 180 plus, 190 plus Maripol. Seen a few videos of how it's done. That's how I learned this, obviously. Um, so I'm just gonna run through the way I do it now. That I believe is the way to get consistently 190 plus mobs, so about like 200. Um, yeah, so.
That's still recharging.
And I'll sort of just try and narrate a little bit
I can't cast it.
on
That
certain
spell
parts that you
isn't
sort
ready.
of need to focus on.
That's still recharging.
So just sort of keep an eye on the spell rotation. It's not super important, but it kind of it does matter with the spells that you use because some spells have longer range than others, and obviously there's cooldowns you need to worry about, and stuff like that. So running through this part, you sort of want to try and conserve your mana a little bit. So once you have enough distance between the mobs, and you can jump up there, that ramp there, um, you don't want to keep using Blink and Ice Barrier. These mobs stop there for a little bit. That gives you a bit of distance between you and the mobs. If you're doing this pull with Hydras, the Hydras actually keep running at you, so yeah, you still need to blink away from the Hydras if they're getting too close, but those snakes and pretty much everything else in this instance will stop there, so you can pretty much just, even if they're pretty close to you, you can just use that as a way to make some distance between you and the mobs. So this is pretty crap RNG here, or sorry, it's not RNG, it's how long I've been waiting in the instance. Yeah, so this is pretty scuffed here. So you just pull all of that, frost nova the slimes, and then yeah, it should be all good. So I'm really scuffing this one up. I'm gonna use cold snap here over all these slimes. Saving fire blast for these slimes up here because those slimes apparently they reset the other slimes.
That's still recharging.
So it will make it harder for you to get a 190 pull on the
That's still recharging.
oops. Just gonna go over here.
Isn't ready yet. That's
So this is pretty scuffed. Sort of just saving my ass here.
still recharging.
That's not the ideal order of spells that you want to be using right there. I only did that just because I was about to die, so I didn't want to die, obviously. So here is a good opportunity to bandage. So get a bandage in. You may or may not to blink up there. May not need to blink up there, but you probably don't need to. Get a bandage off, and then blizzard here to try and stack them up. You may not need to do that, but it's just, I find it's good. It's kind of a good practice to just do everything kind of the same way that you always. If you just do everything the same way, the mobs are sort of positioned in the same position every time, like further down the instance, etc. It just helps remember. But once you, if you do this plenty of times, that won't be an issue for you because you'll sort of know how to deal with that anyway. It's not really a big deal. So you can over these. That might help. So I'm sort of running out of mana here, sort of just because of that scuffed bit back where the slimes were. I could have evocated there before, doing where I did the blizzard just before to try and stack the mobs up. Just gonna Nova all that here. And we're gonna do a loop around. Try and stack them up a little bit more. Try and pull a few more mobs. And yeah. So I'll do a couple of runs of this and try and explain. Because I have missed a few things. There's a lot going on, so it's hard for me to sort of explain everything. So I'll after this run, because I'm actually doing a boost right now with these people, so I'll just keep recording for the next run, and because everything will be a little bit different next run, and you'll be able to see what's happening. So I like to just do a blizzard there, try and stack them up a bit, and then jump down, and you can run back here. If those treants, those three that when you first jump down, after that Frost Nova, you jump down and you aggro those treants, sometimes they reset. So you can, if you want to use Blink, you can try and Blink. This is also a good time to bandage. You can Blink and try and pull those mobs and run back to try and get back to here, because we want to do a blizzard here just to try and stack them up a little bit more, and also so we can pull these mobs and stuff here as well, so they're not too unstacked. But there's a way that you can try and stop those treants from resetting. I was explaining other stuff, so I wasn't able to explain that in time, so I'll try and explain that on the next run through. It's this treant here, he's about here, and you want to try and get a Fire Blast off on him, pretty much aggro him as soon as you can, because that, for some reason, will stop the those treants resetting. So do a rank 1 Frostbolt on that guy. I like to target this one, because I'll do a Fire Blast on him when I do a loop around. Arcane Explosion there, Fire Blast that guy. Get the barrier up again, just in case I get hit going around on the corner. It's an Arcane Explosion. Hopefully the pathing's good here. If it's not, you can do a Nova, so I'll do that. Nova. Blink away. Kind of cold. So if you grab the two treants here, or grab that one there, I don't know, they must have social pulled, chain pulled the other one. Sometimes you can get a blizzard off there, to try and stack them up a bit more. If you're doing the Hydra pull, it's a little bit different how you sort of want to approach that, but for the 190, this is pretty stress-free to just stack them up with blizzard. So try and stack these up pretty good. When you're stacking them up with blizzard, your blink gets a chance to come off cooldown, so you can actually get a few blizzards in, or a couple of blizzards in before your blink is ready to be used again. So you kind of don't really want them to be getting too close to you. I find that when you first start doing these runs, it's a lot of pressure to make sure that you do everything perfectly and that you're learning as you go. Just the pressure of the mobs makes it difficult to sort of make sure you do everything properly, and that is something that will fuck you up as well with your runs, so just keep that in mind.
That's still recharging.
So here you can pop a nature protection potion. I'm going to try and not do that this run, because I'm trying to do the runs without them. So we'll step over here to try and line of sight those green imps, and then we'll step back in a second, right now, and then we'll keep slowing these mobs. See all those green imps? followed up. So we only got one imp there, unfortunately. So ideally we want like 2 or 3. But that's fine, we won't go with just one. There's another one there, you can try and keep that one alive as well. It's fine though, I won't go. So it's just jumping back and forward. You can walk down off the cliff onto the totem thing. But then you got to jump back up. There is a spot that if you jump on the wrong spot, you will slip off the ledge and fall down. So you sort of just need to make sure you jump in the right spot. Okay, so that's like the first run done. I'll just keep it on group loot. When I'm doing boosting, you can put it on whatever loot you want. What you could do is, if you want the epics, you can put it on master looter, pass on loot, yes, and then loot threshold set to epic. So if any epics drop, you can master loot them to yourself, but anything else you will pass on the loot, and that gives everyone else a chance to, all the boosties, a chance to loot everything. Give them a chance to recoup some of their gold that they'll be spending on your runs, because it works out to be pretty expensive. I know that from experience. I've had a turn boosted and bloody expensive. It's worth it though. Especially if you're playing like a warrior or a rogue or, you know, a hunter or something. Something that, you know, takes ages to level up. It's always a good time. Being able to speed through the slow levels. Gives you a chance to get to high enough, then you can start doing BID and get your BIS. And when you get your BIS, you'll be leveling up at the same time. It's just 2 birds, 1 stone. It's a good time. Alright, so about to start the next run. So, before there I didn't put on mage armor. So when you're doing the kill phase, you want to put mage armor on. It gives you more resistances, so you can resist the poison imps. And the mana regen, which you don't really need in that, but you get that anyway. So make sure you get frost armor on. Bust up. I like to put on dampen magic at the start. You don't have to do that, I guess. I don't know why you wouldn't want to do it, because, well, I suppose it only lasts 10 minutes, but yeah, I don't see why you wouldn't want to do that, because you'll have imps on you halfway through. The runs go for about, from the 190, they go for about 12 minutes. It's about 12-minute pulls. So yeah, just good to have from the start. So I pull these 2 packs with Frostbolt, rank 1. Don't have to blink here, you can if you want. So just pulling these. Fire Blast here. So we'll blink across the bridge, just to give me a bit of space between those other snakes. So I pull this with the counter spell. I'm going to blizzard these guys, and then the guys behind me are going to catch up. So I took a little bit long there on the blizzard, and then I'll Nova and blink, and that's about it for those pulls there. You don't really have to do anything else. They might catch up, and then just do another blink. But this gives you a chance here, while you're not casting any spells, to regenerate a bit of mana. You probably be able to regenerate all of my mana back to 100% for pulling those slimes. If you have the hydras there, if you're doing a like 280 pull plus, and you've got like dimetrodons and like hydras and stuff, I think the hydras might run a bit quicker. I'm not sure, but yeah, you kind of they've got a massive hitbox, so you want to make sure that those guys are way far away from you, because they will hit you, and when they hit you, they will hit you really hard. I got heaps of time here. I can't blizzard over those sisters. So I pull them, I'm going to blink. And I like to pull those slimes with blizzard. Just because you can pull 4 with blizzard. And then they run over the top of the other one and pull that other one. Okay, so pull those, blink up the ramp. We'll get a blizzard off on this slime up there. So ticked off. So run, sort of do a little curve there. An arc. Spin cone of coals. Re-ice barrier. And then we're going to nova here. Try and get like all the slimes. We did miss one. That's fine. You might chain pull anyway. And then fire blast these guys. Okay, so I should have blinked there, I think, or possibly, I'm not sure. I did mess it up though. Yeah, so this is going to be a bit scuffed. So I'm going to nova here. Might just go there. The idea of it is just to like use all your spells to keep them all away, but don't use the ones you need. I'm going to cold snap nova here. Pull these slimes. I'm going to blink and then pull that Satyr. That's not ideally the rotation of spells we want to be using there either. See if I can get it right on the next run. I'll do the next one. I think I told these guys I'll do probably more than 5. So this is the 5th one I think I'm doing. So blizzard here, try and stack them all up. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, this is the 5th one. So I took a little bit there, so I'm going to blink. Usually you don't have to blink there. You save your blink for when you want to blink towards the tree over there. Watch out for the stealth guy, because he's a real pain in the ass. He does hamstring. Hamstring is not fun. Okay, so we'll try and pull this guy to Fire Blast. This tree here. To try and stop those trees that we're about to pull next from not aggroing. So those purple satyrs, they have a hamstring, and that slows you down. So it's always a good idea to have a ice block, cancel aura macro. So you can basically just click it and click it off straight away. So that will get hamstring off without slowing your movement down too much. Trying to nova them there. I find that if you have them nova, they sort of don't really de-aggro as much, but I'm really not too sure how that works. Still sort of trying to figure that out. So pull that there with the Fire Blast. So I like to have nameplates on, auto attack that, screen down and blink over the top of that, because they can still hit you over the top of that. As you well know, probably. So use counterspell to pull these imps.
That spell isn't ready.
Those satyrs just get chain pulled. Over those imps there, don't have to. Doesn't really matter. They get aggroed anyway. Alright, so use Blizzard to stack these up pretty good here. So, whoops. Sort of run across there, so to allow the rest of them to catch up while the blizzard slows on the mobs that walk through the blizzard, and then that sort of helps stack better, but yeah. Whatevs. So this is the opportunity to bandage here. If you have any dots on you, you can ice block them off. Just make sure you got your ice barrier up. Do a blizzard. Okay. Fire blast that guy, or cone of cold or whatever. If there's that stealth guy there, you can cone of cold and try and pull them in one go. Or they might just chain pull off the fire blast. I like to try and keep a bit of distance between the mobs here, just going down to this area, just so you can frostbolt this one. It doesn't take long to cast, but at least you'll have still a bit of room. Oh, we'll see, they'll catch up there. So yeah, it's nice to have a bit of room, a bit of space between the mobs. There. Try an arcane explosion this guy. Ice barrier. There's only a couple of mobs there, not going to worry about that. Arcane explosion. Again. Blink. Cold. Could nova them, these here, but there's no point to try and get a blizzard off. But yeah, the mobs are too close, so there's no point. Just to make it a bit easier, but it's fine because we can do that here on the stairs. Ideally, you want to sort of have them on a corner, because they'll get hit. The chance of them getting slowed is much higher when they're on a corner, because they get hit multiple times, rather than if you're going to hit them on the straight. Okay, so they're sort of pretty stacked up good now. You can get them stacked better than that. There is a technique where you can use blink, and you blink across their path, sort of like in a triangle, and it sort of makes them all group up together. So looking from here, it looks like they could be stacked up a little bit better. Yeah, so that's fine. They're gonna unstack anyway. There'll be a few of them that'll... Oh, they're mostly pretty stacked, that's pretty good. Alright, so run back to the spot, put mage armor on, make sure you got your dampened magic on. Right now is not a bad time to start spending all your mana on gems and stuff, if you don't need to bandage. So you can spend a bit of mana, because you'll be getting that mana back from those imps. So get a bandage in here, because I'm a bit low. And then at rank 1 or 2, doesn't really matter, sort of on around this area, because they like to run out and then come back in. So it's a good way to get them to get slowed. Yeah. So do that line of sight trick to get those imps. That didn't really work that time, so I'm going to just chuck a blizzard right there. Try to get them down. I think I need to... I do... Ice barrier. Okay, this is a bit scuffed now, so now I'm just going to try and juggle these mobs. That's fine. So they sort of... There's a way you want to run a nature protection potion, because if you mess up the imps, it's really hard to sort of come back. I mean, it's not hard to come back, it's just annoying to come back, when you could just like kill all the mobs sort of smoothly. But that's fine. So try and stack them back up again. Gonna need to ice barrier soon again. That's fine. There's only 2 imps now, 3. So it'll be resisting most of their hits anyway. Yeah. I'll try and stack them up. it's as easy as that. That's without using a nature protection potion. If you use a nature protection potion, you'll have no issues, as long as you do the imps properly. If you leave the imps alive too long, they'll get you. They will interrupt your shit, your stuff. They will ruin your life of mirrors. Yeah, I could do pass on loot here, but I'm not going to because an epic might drop. The odd epic has dropped, and I sort of just let the group roll on it. Haven't seen Edge Masters yet. Sort of just doing a trust exercise there on that one. I want to see who's gonna try and grab the edges, or if they'll let me have it. Sort of just not sure about that. I have my bets on going either way. So that was the fifth one. I usually do about 45 gold per 5, or 10 per each. And that's just the I think that's the standard price, really. Back in 2019, that's what I think I used to pay for. I think the 180 mirrors. I think the 280s were like 15 gold or something. So when I start doing those, I'll probably charge about that amount. So just got about a what's that, a minute left on the lockout. So just skip a minute ahead. My video editing software is not working on my computer, unfortunately. Adobe Premiere Pro is too good for Windows 10. I can't upgrade to Windows 11. Well, actually, it's not too good for Windows 10, but you need the latest Windows 10 update, which I can't get because for some reason my Windows is bugged and it won't let me update. I've tried everything to try and update it to the latest version. It won't work, so I can't run Premiere Pro. Premiere Rush doesn't want to run. I guess Premiere Pro probably wouldn't want to run either because it's missing a DLL, which I've tried to fix by installing bloody visual VC, bloody, it's C++ that I'm installed, which apparently installs all the DLLs with it, and that doesn't work either. So long story short, I can't edit videos, so I'm just going to do this in one shot. So yeah, let's hope I don't die, because then I won't be able to upload this video. I guess I could just upload it in 2 parts, just cancel it. Anyway, so let's have a look here. Make sure all the buffs are up. Gems, mana gems, important. Nothing worse than pulling like 2 packs of snakes and then realizing your gems are not there. Okay. Just get barrier up, get mana up if you want to. You don't have to. I suppose you don't have to because you just get that mana regen anyway when you Running up the river.
That's still recharging.
Blink there. Pull this pack here with a counterspell into a blizzard on the next pack. Wait for the one tick. There it is. Fire blast that one.
Isn't ready.
And over and blink. So it's worse with the Dimetrodons when you pull those. And maybe I might try doing one of those pulls, but then try and explain that one as well. I don't know how to do the biggest pull, and I do skip a lot of packs when I do it because I don't have engineering. Apparently, not apparently. Do need engineering for some of the pulls. Well, at least to not risk dying. Because oh, there we go. Accidentally iceblocked. Yeah, you don't really want to be risking dying. You sort of want to try and take the safest path. But you want to keep your space with the Dimetrodons because they will silence you. So here we are, we're on good timing. The sisters haven't made it to the slimes yet, so blizzard on the slimes, on the 4 slimes, they'll run through that one slime. Usually it doesn't take that long for it to aggro, and I like to get the bog lord and the slime in one go with the kind of cold. But yeah, he took forever, so he can miss out. Ice barrier there, pull these two here, fire blast and counterspell, blink up the ramp, and we'll get a blizzard on that upper tier slime. So we got that tick off. Fire blast, and we're gonna turn for a cone of cold. If you run here and then sort of face the slimes and then away again, it sort of fucks their pathing up, so you sort of can kind of get through without getting hit by them, which is pretty good. You learn all sorts of jank things about pathing, well, just by playing the game, but it's pretty obvious when heaps of mobs are doing it all at one go, all in one go. Makes you really think. Well, you know what I mean.
I can't cast that yet.
Or you don't. I don't know. Then this out that guy. Okay, that's sort of not too bad. The way you want to use the spells, you probably could have changed the fire blast out with something else for was it the slimes there to use on the satyrs, which would have been a bit safer. But if you sort of have eyes in the back of your head and you can see how far the mobs are from you, behind you, and you sort of are used to how far they can hit you, then you know how close they can get. And you can, I don't know, you sort of risk the biscuit there, but you can let them get a bit closer to you, and I believed I had enough space there to be able to do a kind of cold on those satyrs, so I did that. There was no real alternative there to doing that. I probably would have just got them in the next loop around, so that's also an option too. But when you do that, you sort of just have to restack everything again. I don't know, it's just over there. Hit that tree. You can skip this one. I didn't. And then you can pull that with a frostbolt. Generally, that's what I like to do. But because I don't have ice barrier, let's use a wand. Don't want the spell push back, so I'm gonna Nova these guys here. Ice barrier back up. Yes. Robes of the Archmage are really good for this as well because you get it's like a free mana gem almost.
Isn't ready yet.
and it's very useful. Which you can make the gold to make the robes by doing this run. You don't need them for this run at all. I made the gold myself, doing these runs to make the robes, so that's how I got my Archmage robes. So definitely possible to out. So kind of like that, and then they're sort of more stacked up. So they sort of, by the time they're running, the unslowed mobs are running back, the slow wears off the other mobs, and then they all run back together in one group, one clump. Bandage up here, chuck an ice barrier on. All their buffs are looking pretty good. You don't have to blizzard these green sprites. Chuck a blizzard down when the first you can counterspell that guy. Yeah, see they all social aggroed. You can start blizzarding when the white imps are getting close, because they actually come up and melee you, but they don't hit very much, so it's up to you if you want to do that. If there's only one or two, I probably wouldn't worry about it. If there's like 5 of them, I'd probably, I don't think that's ever happened before, but yeah, probably do something about that, maybe. Head over that purple Satyr. Get some space between the mobs. And then we'll stop and do a frostbolt here. Target that other mob. Sometimes these pull, these, not the satyrs, but the imps do. So, I don't know. You want to use a ranged spell to pull those. So these guys are getting pretty close, so I use a Nova, and then Blink. Sometimes they do get close there, sometimes they don't. It's a bit random. If you don't have Nova there for whatever reason, Cold Snap or turn and kind of cold, slow them somehow, or you die. They get to you. So you want to try and slow these down with Blizzard. You want to try and, I always find like the second or the third tick of Blizzard is what actually catches them. So if you start blizzarding, and the mob's like on top of the blizzard, it's probably it, and it's the first mob to run through it, it's probably not gonna slow it. So you sort of need to aim the blizzard in front. But then that Satyr gets slowed straight away. It's really, it has a mind of its own, to be honest. It's really hard to predict how it wants to work. So we're back into kill phase here. So mage armor, dampen magic again. And we'll re-ice barrier. Nameplates turn the nameplates on so we can see where they are, and blizzard on the edge there, and then turn nameplates off. Let about 3 or 4 ticks of blizzard go off. Run line of sight over here. Let a few ticks of that go off. Run back, and then slow again. Wait for all the mobs to sort of be slowed, like so, and then put the blizzard over the imps. And that's about it. And you just have to keep jumping back and forward. Just keep an eye on your ice barrier. Health. It's not a big deal, it's just you gotta keep blizzarding. If you keep getting interrupted, you need to keep casting it. Well, that can be an issue. Slow wears off the mobs. It's only really an issue when you've got heaps of imps constantly interrupting you. No, that would probably send you in. Alright, so that's another run down. I'm gonna go and trade all these people because they are gonna give me another 45 gold each, I believe. Hang on, that's today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's another one. Where are the epics at? I go way out the door.
Isn't ready yet.
It's always good to tell your boosties when you've finished doing 5. Always keep track of what you're doing, because you can't rely on your boosties. You can't rely on your boosties to keep track. Not sure he's talking about there. Donis is not online, so I mean, it's the timing of the whisper is. Yeah, whatever. Alrighty. Alrighty.
It's not ready. I can't cast that yet.
Okay, next we got our ice armor on. AI.
That spell isn't ready yet.
All their gems and everything.
Charging.
Blink to get away from the snakes. Counterspell into Blizzard. Fire
Out
Blast.
of range.
And Snover. This blink's on cooldown. And then blink. So the slow part of the run, where nothing's happening very much. So pop ice barrier about here. No sisters, we will blizzarded slimes. Slimes run through that one, finally. Get both of them with the one cone of cold. Cool. Angry that guy. Get this one. And then Nova. And Fire Blast.
That spell
Counterspell.
isn't ready yet.
Set up the top there. Wall. Okay. That was a bit... Well, that is not good. That is not fucking good. Every now and then you get a random stun from one of those Boglords. So it's pretty annoying. Sort of a bit worse than hamstring from the Satyrs. Good thing to know about that is they don't obviously do the stun straight away when you pull them, but once they've been aggro for a little bit, and if they're attacking you, they will try and stun you. You can blink out of it, so if you have blink, you can just blink out of it. Or Ice Block, either or. Obviously, skip through the death run because this is not great content. I mean, if you're watching this, at least you know how painful the run is. If you're learning this, and if you can sit through this run, because you'll probably be doing this run a fair bit, so Maybe this will soak in a bit more for you. Possibly. I don't know if that's how it works. Probably not. Maybe I'm just grasping at straws. Who knows? Alright, zoned in.
It's still recharging.
Righty. Buffing up. Drinking up. And we will begin the pull.
That's still recharging. I haven't cast that yet.
Might help to have a little bit of music going as well. Bit of electronic, perhaps.
It's too far away.
Maybe some metal. Might do the trick as well.
It's still recharging. That spell isn't ready yet.
Suppose you could listen to some hip hop, R&B.
I can't cast that yet. That spell isn't ready.
I used the Ice Fairy there again, didn't I? I mean, I haven't been using my gems at all, doing these runs, or Robes of Archmage, so, or mana potions. So, I mean, I've got plenty of leftover mana. If you're doing the 280 pull, you probably get to the snakes with about 60% mana, maybe 50, as I recall, and maybe one gem down, or maybe not actually, maybe not, because you use Evocade. I remember that much. Alright, so Blizzardy slimes. You can aggro that slime, can't recall those two. He resisted, who cares? Laggy Arcane Explosion. And again. Okay, these sisters are pretty close. Don't want to nova them.
That's still
If you
recharging.
pull them, it's pretty much a wipe. Alright, tick off on the slime upstairs, up the ramp. Cone of Cold, these mobs, re-ice barrier, get a nova off on these slimes. Blink up the ramp again, do a fire blast on those round slimes. Those smooth brain boys. Those round boys. They're probably slippery boys. Alrighty, Arcane Explosion, Fire Blast. See, I still got all my gems here. I can just do whatever I want, mate. Whatever I want. If I do so, buddy, feel like it, my friend, I will. See, look, I even stopped there, turned around, and did it kind of cold. Mate, I am a god. Alright, so bandage up here. You could evocate here if you want, but I'd say don't get into the habit of doing that. Because if you're doing the 280 pulls, you will not have evocate. You'll be a 1x evocate down. Dodge that, sneaky motherfucker. Sneaky motherfucker! Rank 1 Frostbolt that guy, Counterspell that guy, Fire Blast that guy, Arcane Explosion that guy, and this guy. And save your Blink, Arcane Explosion there, for either blinking across. See, this is another way of stacking the mobs up that I was saying before, that is mentioned in the other, in the Mara videos. They say that is what you do, and that is how you stack the mobs really good, really tightly, and it works really well because you don't unstack them, which you can do with Blizzard. So when you Blizzard them, sometimes they go out of sync, and that's not a fun time when they do that. So when you blink and you stack them all up, you can't go wrong there really doing that. So back to doing the loop. Finalize this guy. Make sure nameplates are on. Default shortcut is V. Blink over them. That was a really dodgy blink. Crossing over. Got this guy here. That's right. Get him later. I'll get him on the way back. Or he might chain pull. Okay, get the stack up. This is going to be interrupted here. No. Yeah, go. Gets chain pulled for sure. Magic, because why not? Bandage. Blizzard going.
That's still recharging.
When you watch the Mara videos that are out there, and they say use Fire Blast on this guy, kind of call this guy Arcane Explosion this guy, it's sort of like loosely, that's what you got to do. You just kind of just have to pull them. If it's counterspell and stuff, it's sort of something to keep an eye on, because there's a cooldown on counterspell, a long cooldown. Not like, I mean, Fire Blast is a short cooldown, so it's not as much to worry about. But when you start doing the runs, you'll figure out what's completely necessary and what isn't, and then you just sort of get your own thing about it. So here we got enough room, could probably do a blizzard. Bit sketch. Little bit sketch. Yeah, see. It's risking it. It is. For what? Alright, these are pretty good stacked up now. Probably just nova these guys. Let's call it a day. So put mage armor on. Re-ice barrier. Alright, so we have miles in front. I don't think anything else really needs rebuffing. That's pretty much everything. The actual nameplates are on. I might just go to rank 2 Blizzard, full max rank Blizzard, sorry. Because why not? So that was pretty decent. So I'm sort of just aiming my blizzard on top of the green imps, and the other mobs are getting slowed at the same time. I'll leave those ones now though, because there's only like 3 left, so I'll try and make sure that this one here doesn't actually die. Well, it makes a huge difference. Not that it makes a huge difference. For the gear, just to have heaps of nature resistance. No, I'm just kidding. So you get Heart of Noxian, that's a trinket from, what's this guy doing? Oh, that's right, they're gonna trade me, eh? They've got to trade me. Shit, I thought he had traded me already. Raking in the dosh. What was I talking about? Alright, so I might stop that there actually, because that sort of sums it all up. You can do that way easier with a nature protection potion. I didn't use that at all in any of those runs. So if you use that, you'll make it won't set you back anything. It's like one potion per run, and there might be like a gold or something on the auction house, maybe, or cheaper. So you can use that to make it much easier. Um, yeah. So I'm going to stop this recording, and then I'm going to I'm going to start recording for a 280 pull. I will do a 280 pull on this one. So, yes.